You are now listening to The ACE. That stands for Astra and Cynthia Experience. So you're asking yourself, what kind of experience are you going to get? Well, buckle up, because this ride that you're about to encounter will... I'll let you see where it goes. Here they are now, Astra and Cynthia, The ACE.
We're back. Another episode.
Yay!
My goodness. So, all right. This is episode 2. Super excited to be doing this. I'm Astra, of course.
I'm Cynthia. You can find me on Cynthia521 on my Instagram.
And you can find me at Astra on the air. So, all right, let's just recap. How was your week?
I actually had a really amazing week. I mean, kind of low key, had some fun with my girlfriends on Friday, went to the strip club.
Mm-hmm.
To only find out I wake up and in my pocketbook, I have 3 packs of hundreds, and I know I didn't change anything out.
Wait. 3 packs of hundreds, like all singles?
Yes. So I completely forgot right before I left. Well, I didn't forget. Obviously it was a long night. And
wait a second. Did you cash in the singles to throw
no,
at the girls?
No, I didn't cash in. My friend cashed in, and he always cashes in like 1,000. So I was like, oh, I want to throw some, too. I want to distribute this. And then they said, I'll be right back. So I thought they left, and I think they might have went downstairs to like smoke a cigar. And next thing I know, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going home. I totally forgot, because I was like, all right. And then I went home, I woke up, and I was like, I went to get my lip gloss, and I was like, oh shit, 300, but.
So listen, you just made a free 300 and you didn't even have to take your clothes off.
Yes. I mean, listen, I always go and support the team, support the fam. I'm all about supporting. So I'll bring it back.
Well, for me, obviously, the big ordeal was the downing of Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. What the heck was that all about? Okay.
Oh my God. I think everyone had panic attacks, heart murmurs, you know.
Here's the thing. For somebody like myself who does a lot of content creation, well, there went my work for the day, which I'm not going to lie, I was fine. I was happy about it. I did find myself clicking Instagram as habit just to open it, and I'm like, it's down.
I'll be honest with you. Normally I would have done that, but I actually made it a good cleansing day. Once I realized, actually my girlfriend sent me a link saying it was breaking news, it was down. So it was like something serious. So then I took it upon myself. I'm like, you know what? I was at work, totally forgot about it, because I was like, who knows how long it's going to be. Did my work, all my friends at the office are still looking, still down. I got my bills done for the month, this and that. And honestly, I thought I would have missed it. I was good.
I'm shocked because you live on Instagram.
I know. I think it was, and I think Mark Zuckerberg should do it once a week.
All right, let me get him on the phone. Just as long as he doesn't do it during the day that we need to put our show up, right?
Yes, of course.
Imagine we had to put our show up that day. Everybody would be like, where the hell is the show? Sorry, guys, go call Mark.
Well, except that day, that's it. But yeah, it was pretty intense. I couldn't see what everybody's breakfast was, lunch was,
I know. Well, obviously, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's been showing us love on our Instagram page at This Is The ACE, starting to follow us. I would love for them to, tag a friend or two underneath this new show that we're putting up, because this way we can spread the word, because couple of people tell a couple of people, then more people are going to join. They're going to want to check it out. And that's how word spreads. So to our friends who are tuning in right now, make sure that you spread and share the love.
Of course. And thank you again for everybody that's been messaging me, congratulating us. And it means a lot, and more than you know. So that's all it's about the support.
Well, before we start, I think we should cheers to that.
Yes.
Because obviously during every show we are going to be drinking. So cheers.
Cheers, guys. And if you guys want some tequila, some vodka, whatever you suggest on your end, cheers.
What are you drinking? Because I'm actually drinking a Tito's and lemonade.
I am drinking a Tito's slightly dirty martini.
Slightly dirty like yourself.
Slightly dirty. A little pinch.
A little pinch of dirt. Mine's nice and clean. Mine's nice and refreshing. Mine's nice and
Surprised
tasty.
you're not drinking a mango jalapeno, margarita, mezcal.
Listen, mezcal is my new favorite. I don't know why, because I'm not even a smoker, okay? And I don't even, I'm not a huge fan of cigar bars or anything, ashtrays, any of that crap. But
I didn't know there was flavors of ashtrays.
I'm saying the smell of an ashtray makes me want to like vomit. However, the taste of a mezcal tequila, I don't know why I like the smokiness all of a sudden. I think that, you know how they say your palate changes every like 7 years?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just turning into an old biddy. I don't know.
Listen, kind of like my weight's changing every 7 years. Whew. No.
You mean every 7 days?
I know, Jesus Christ. Gotta call my doctor. It's time.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we're going to get into our first topic, which I think is a topic that a lot of people can relate to. I know that I've had this conversation with many people before, and I kind of want to bring it to the table. It's the list. And let me break that down. Obviously, there's not a lot of virgins out there anymore. I mean, unless you're like 12. So for me personally,
God damn, that low.
The way things are going now, 6 years old and like whatever. However, a lot of people like to put together a list, or maybe it's just women. I don't know if guys do this, but I know a lot of women do. They put together a list of their former flames. You know, I remember back in the day, personally, I used to put a list together. Like if I kissed you, you made the list. And and like, for me, I used to love to just kiss people. So I would always add a name and I'd be like, yeah, I kissed like 10 guys, you know, whatever. And their names were all there. And it just became a habit for me. So then I started actually writing next to their name, you know, because back then when you're younger, like 16, it's like first base, second base, like whatever you would do.
You put like BJ 6'9" and all that good stuff.
No, I was doing, you know, first base kiss, second base touch the boobies, third base, you know, anything below the belt, and then home run, you know what that is. But I always had long-term boyfriends, so the home runs were pretty low, you know.
Well, I didn't necessarily have a list like you. I have done a list, but it definitely wasn't, I think it was past the whole kissing, the dry humping.
So basically, if you fuck them, they're on the list.
Yes, I did a list at one point. I was doing that. I had to be, if I remember correctly, 23. I might have made that list, or 25. And I think with you, and I needed your help. No.
We did talk about this, and we were reminiscing because, you know, I don't know your entire past. I just know from like about 10 years forward from what I've known, which hasn't been much, I will say. Been much.
Yeah. And you know what it is? Sometimes I don't know if it's that I forgot them because it wasn't that good, or it was just kind of, and I wouldn't say it was like a one and done, because usually it was always, I spoke to them more than one time. It wasn't just a one night fling. I know that for a fact. So either I knew them, but I think the ones I forgot, it was obviously they didn't make an impact in my life. So sometimes I guess they didn't make it to the list because I was like, forget that one.
Well, the reason why I used to always start a list was because, I don't know, growing up, my mom always ingrained in my mind, like, you know, the whole, like, you don't want to catch an STD.
Oh God.
So, yeah, because, you know, especially, you know, when you're younger and it's like you're going through sex ed in school, they teach you all that stuff. So for me, I was like, well, then you know what? I'm going to just make a list of anyone that I kiss, because God forbid I ever were to get something, I could backtrack on that list and be like, it was you, because after him, nothing happened. But between him and him, it was you, you know, like.
Oh my God, that's pretty intense. I mean, I guess.
Listen, I'm one of those crazy people that it's like, it's like I need a PowerPoint presentation on everything. First of all, I've never even had a one night stand. And people are always like, what? I just never have, because for me, again, God forbid something were to happen, I need to know who to contact. And if you are a one night stand, how am I going to find you?
If you used a condom, I would
Either way, you could still get something. You can still get something. And for me, I'd want that peace of mind of being able to say, hey, you are the person that gave this to me. So I had my list.
It was you, Jimmy, not you, Danny.
It was you, because after Danny, I was fine. Now it's you.
Oh,
But
thank God it wasn't like COVID. It takes 10 days to actually see symptoms.
oh my, I mean, damn, you're getting laid that quickly and that frequently. Geez. My God. How many partners did you have in 10 days to be like, it was one of you five? Like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
So is okay, your list, I'm gonna assume, is an actual physical list. It's not a mental list.
Yeah, one I did actually write it down. It was on my notes in my phone. And
Same.
like, and if I remember, I think it might have been with you and my other best friend, Shelly. I think I was like filling in the blanks and we just laugh about I can never like finish because then we like talk about it, we laugh about it and whatever.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to ask you the question that everybody always wants to know is what's the number? What's the body count? Because I don't think that's anyone's business. But
Yeah, it doesn't really. I don't think that really. Listen, everybody has a different opinion. I think body count. It depends. Were you in serious long relationships? Were you more just a? And I was actually in long serious relationships. I had the 3-year curse from 16. It was 19. Then they were all 3 years, and then in between I had maybe a little breakup. But I think as I got older, it was more like I decided to be a little bit more single.
see, I feel like you and I, this is why we get along, because I always had the long-term relationships. My first boyfriend was 4 years, followed by a 3-year. I had a fucking broken engagement that we don't need to talk about on this show, but we'll get into that another time. So it's like I've always had those long-term relationships. The shortest relationships I ever had were maybe like a 2 or 3 month, but I don't really count that as a relationship. I count that as okay, we're dating, it's somewhat serious, but like, you're not for me. And you know what? I wish I kept that mindset, especially now, because instead I seem to hold on to these people like, well, maybe I'm just being too picky and maybe I need to give them a chance. And next thing you know, a year or two goes by and I'm like, fuck my life. I just wasted all this time on this asshole. Jesus.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, before 3 months, you're out the door.
I think the younger I was, the stupider I was.
See, and I feel the opposite. The younger I was, the smarter I was. And now I'm just like, what happened? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I woke up from being in a coma and I'm like, where are we? What time zone is this? Like, what year are we in? How did 10 years fly by?
I think also this generation has been changing. Social media. Yes, it was what, 10, how long did social media start? Like Instagram 10 years ago, 12 years ago?
Yeah, because I remember I got into Instagram, I believe in 2008
12, I
or
think
so.
it started. 2012, no?
Was it?
I don't know.
Somewhere around there. Because listen, it was the MySpace days into
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Facebook
But
days.
even MySpace, like nobody got caught. Like, the slightest thing, you could be in the background just like dancing and like, another a couple, like a married person's like making out. Meanwhile, they're just taping me,
Yep.
and they're like,
nobody's being an investigator. No one's investigating. Nobody's zooming into the background. That's just.
But people get caught. They do and they don't. They get caught, and it's not even, nobody. But I just think it's a different generation. I think now I've gotten wiser. I used to believe liars and this and that, and it's just.
No, you know what it is? You used to be naive like the rest of us, and then we've just smartened up. They always say, after certain types, after you get hurt a couple of different times, you got basically wisen up. I mean, I think back to like my second relationship that I ever had. And the difference between how naive I was then till now, it's like, I would have never tolerated half the shit I tolerated back then.
No,
never.
Definitely not.
And you know what? And it wasn't even that bad back then because now, woo, the things that go on. But back to body count. Let's just say you meet a guy and I don't know why guys always want to ask that question, which to me is just so evasive. But, if you found out that the guy that you were hanging out with had a high or a low body count, would it deter you from dating him?
No, because I'm a little older. So I'm assuming they would probably be a little like my age or a little older. So at the end of the day, who am I to judge their past? Like, I enjoyed my past. I was a goody goody, and I was also a little bit of a wild girl. I enjoyed life. So if you were to judge me, I'm not judging you. So, as long as how he treats me now, and also he could have grown up. Let's say he did 100 girls. I don't know. I'm just saying a number. Perhaps if he grew up, you know what I'm saying? He's in a different mindset now. But what does that have anything to do with me now?
Listen, and if
he's
he
in
did
love with me now. Now he ain't going anywhere. He ain't leaving after he met me now.
you never know, because you might want to increase that an extra 100. But see, after the 100 girls, what's to say that he didn't learn a thing or two and could teach you something, See, my thing is this. I look at it like this. I'm not going to judge a guy based on his number. Instead, I'm going to just be like, damn, 100 girls? Just go take a test. Let's just make sure you're good. As long as you're good, I don't care what you did in the past before me, because what you did is what you did. That doesn't, define who you are as a person.
No.
As long as your ass doesn't cheat on me, that's another story.
Yes, I agree. It doesn't define who you are. Like, everybody has a past. And not saying he was a bad person. He was apparently just a horny person.
And then what happens if he's not as horny now when he's with you? Then what are you going to say?
Then, it depends. Am I that into him? Am I like, but no, listen, obviously, if you're saying if I'm into this guy, where am I going to take it from then? But I'm sure he'll be horny.
Damn, girl. Listen, I will say, I feel like when it comes to that, it really depends on the person. It depends on the chemistry and the connection. There are people that, like, always in the beginning, everything is always, the honeymoon stage. So it's always like you're fucking like a rabbit. Let's be real. But then once those little goggles come off, you're just like, eh. Or you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so into this person.
I gotta say, in my long-term relationships, which were like 3 years, decent amount, right? Three years, enough to get tired of someone. But that was never, and I swear that was never an issue. In my mind, I always said to myself, or so I read in books and read interviews, like, you need to, as long as their bellies are full and their balls are empty. That's it. So I cook like a chef of the best restaurant, and I make sure I take care of them. That's always been my thing. And honestly, in that department, I'm not like tooting my own. I've never had an issue, thank God. I promise till this day. So can that change maybe one day? Maybe, possibly, but
See, for me, I don't know what it is. I feel like there hasn't been anyone that has really kept my interest. In the beginning, it's all like fun and games, super cool, super dandy. I will cook for you. I will make sure everything's great. But once you start to become that jealous, insecure, I just said that, jealous, I'm drinking too much. The jealous, insecure idiot that you'll become, to me, I'm just like, that just starts to turn me off. And it hasn't been until recently, like somebody that I was hanging out with, where I found myself not getting bored. And I said, wow, this has never happened to me before. I've never not gotten bored. Usually for me, it's like the 3-month mark. By 3 months, I kind of know, like, if you're going to stay or you're going to go.
That's pretty quick.
Sometimes I might know by the first day. But I'm like, well, let me give this person a chance, because maybe I'm just being,
and
too picky.
Women always want to see the potential. They think the potential, where that's another whole thing.
And I also find myself not being able to follow my gut all the time, which I've changed that now too. If my gut says something's wrong, I'm out. And I don't care if I feel like I'm hurting the person by ending things, but I got to, because you know what? Every single time I've held on, it's just a recipe for disaster.
I hear you.
Done deal on that. So speaking of relationships, okay, I know we were talking about cell phones and people in relationships, whether they're dating, engaged, married. We're talking about how at times some people seem to either put an emoji next to the person's name, whether it be a heart emoji, whatever, or they put in their phone baby, hubby, honey, whatever their like little pet name is. Do you know anyone who doesn't or does do this?
All the married guys that I know, they usually put wifey with a heart, or baby, or my life. Meanwhile, either they're trying to pick me up and then like their phone rings and then like obviously they're caught me because they lied that they have someone. But and then they get like all like
well,
but
because
yes,
let's be real, you know who put that in the phone. It sure wasn't him. It was
no,
her.
yeah, these guys definitely, it was definitely the woman. But I've seen 90% of the time, yeah, they never have like their name, like I don't know, Cynthia. They have like my baby. I've never made none of my boyfriends ever.
I was going to ask you, have you ever done that? Because I've never done that either.
No, I think one guy when I was 23 and I was dating him for 3 years, I think at one point he put my babe or something. We were young, but like besides that, I never made anybody do it. Nobody, did it unless like maybe if I'm married, maybe I would have like wife tell him.
Really? Because I mean, have you ever
or
put
my name with a heart? I don't know.
have you ever put them in your phone under a different alias or under a different, or
Daddy.
put the emoji?
No, just
Daddy,
kidding.
no, big
No.
daddy, little daddy.
No, no, I no.
Yeah, I haven't either. I have not either. But here's another weird thing. Now that we're on this topic, I will have the guy's name as his name, but something I find, and I don't know why this is, any guy I've ever dated, I can't call him by his name.
Neither can I. You mean like when you're with him?
Yes, I can't
like say his name. Like say his name's David. I can't call him like David. I'll
be like, babe. Yeah, I'll say, hey, babe, what's up, hon? But I can't say like David. Like I feel weird. The only time I've ever said a guy's name is maybe out in public if I'm like, babe, David. Oh, yeah. That's the only time. But it's like it gives me this weird feeling to call them their name. And meanwhile, I see other people like
do it all the time.
Like Steve and I did this, Joe and I did this, and I'm like, oh, really? I'll be like, my guy and I did this. My guy. That's what I say. My guy.
Oh my God, I use my guy too. That's so funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't put them as a different name on my phone. I don't even really put the only time I've ever put emojis maybe and it's super weird, is just maybe to differentiate certain things. Like a lot of guys have the same name.
Yeah.
So I might have a name and then maybe the emoji of like their profession. You know what I'm saying? If it's in there.
I didn't know there was that many emojis for profession.
Like, okay, like so for instance, when I dated a cop, I would have like the little cop emoji or the little siren, Okay. So it's like, I'm like, all right, well, that's that one, because it's like I might know another 5 people with that same name, and I don't want to confuse babe with the same name guy. And I'd be like, oops, wrong guy.
So
and another thing I've ever done too with emojis is this was one time after I broke up with someone, I put the broken heart emoji that I knew, like, if God forbid he ever called, I'm like, oh, that's my ex.
Yeah, I never took it that far.
But for the most part, I really don't have emojis next to people, because there have even been times where people put my name in their phone and they're like, what emoji should I put next to you? I'm like, I don't know, a microphone, a star, I don't know. Yeah. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I guess some guys that have met me, like they've asked me what emoji should I put. I'm like, I didn't know we were getting that deep into it, but okay. He's like, I'll put a devil. I'm like, devil? Like, wait, okay, whatever makes you sleep at night.
Now I want to know which devil they use. Is it that purple faced devil with the smile, or is it that actual red faced devil that looks like
with the purple with the smile?
That's the devilish devil. Woo! I mean, yeah, anything going, ooh, girl, I don't want to know about that. I don't know why they wanted to put that one. Well, speaking of devils, we're going to take a step now behind the velvet rope, which is where we like to talk about something celebrity related. So now we're going to talk about someone who actually does like to use a lot of emojis. She uses the rose emoji on her Instagram page a lot, and a lot of people always have something to say about the red rose. Britney Spears. Did you see her Instagram post earlier this week, last week, whatever? It was just a couple days ago.
Yes, the one she was completely naked from top to bottom.
Yes, and instead of using roses, she used those pink petals to cover her lady bits.
Okay, so my personal opinion, I'm all about, free Britney. I like Britney. You know, I'm all about on her team, but I just don't understand. So she has a boyfriend.
Well, no, a fiance now. They are engaged.
See, I just almost dropped my drink. Yeah, so obviously they've been together for a while.
I believe
So
3 years or so.
Yeah, so he apparently does love her, care about her.
Or her money.
But now I feel like, why, if she's obviously posting these because she is naked and she has to be posting it, who else is taking the pictures?
He took the picture because it was from
Yeah,
when they went on their little vacation to celebrate their engagement. She took the naked photo, which he obviously took of her.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, if anything, he should be helping her. And actually, because a lot of these posts was making her look crazy, let's be honest. And I'm all about her. I like her. I want her to be at her best. And I just think, as a guy who loves someone, like, should be like, babe, you know, let's not do. And he has to be with her all the time. I think they're together 24/7. So I'm a little confused on that end. You know, do they want to be? Do they want the public to think they're both crazy or she's crazy? I don't know. I'm a little confused with that. Like,
I mean, I know that you like to post a lot of risque photos or a little like sexy photo. They're sexy. you post a lot of, listen, let's be honest. You post a lot of sexy photos showing your cleavage. Let's not deny. But would you ever post a naked picture and cover up your, hoo-ha and your tatas with some
unless
emojis?
It was a cover of Vogue or some.
Vogue is not going to have you looking like that.
Or some like crazy magazine that I was in a contract.
Or like Playboy.
And they made it, super sexy. Yeah, then, yeah, but that's different. Like, I'm not putting that on Instagram. No.
I mean, listen, I know a lot of girls are, thirsty for the likes.
I'm gonna put like olive emojis. Like,
that would be perfect for you since you're always wanting the blue cheese stuffed olives. You've got olives over your boobies.
No,
those would listen. Those would have to be some jumbo olives too.
Seriously, yeah. So something there doesn't make sense to me. Like, something doesn't make sense.
Something's a little off. It's weird too because not that I don't follow her on TikTok, but every now and then when I'm scrolling through TikTok, I do come across her stuff on my For You page for some odd reason. And yesterday I was scrolling and I saw a video that, the two of them were making together. First, they had some filters on, just like cutesy little filters, not the filters that, make you look good, but just more like, the doggy filters or those type of filters, the fun filters. And, oh no, actually it was like the Disney princess filter. Like, that filter where it makes your eyes look huge. You look like a cartoon kind of.
Yeah.
So they were using those filters at first. And then she's asking everybody, where should we get married? Paris, New York City, this and that. And in my head, I'm like, do you think they're really going to make it down the altar? Or do you think this is just a forever engagement?
No, I think, but I don't know what he's trying to get at.
Like what are his intentions?
Yeah. I don't know. And I'm still trying to figure that out. But when I do know, we'll definitely talk about it here.
I mean, clearly.
And I wish her the best of luck with everything. I feel bad. Like,
we're going to find out soon after that conservatorship gets dropped from the dad being part of it, because that's the thing. I feel like the reason why she posted the naked, and I put that in quotes because she wasn't extremely, but she was extremely naked, minus the coverage of the emojis. But I feel like that was her saying like, I'm finally free. I'm liberated. Because think about it. When you come into this world, you're coming in naked and it's like you are free and you are here and you are making a statement. So I feel like that's her kind of like her rebirth of being like, I'm back out.
Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I don't really understand her dances that she goes in circles like 10 times, but
I mean listen, the poor girl's stuck in her house 24/7. What are you going to do? You're going to start dancing or doing something to keep yourself entertained.
I mean, if I went in that many circles, I would probably get super dizzy and throw up eventually, but I don't know.
I mean, if you do go on her page too, I mean, she's been posting some stuff. She has videos of, her performances when she performed, how she was a great dancer. Not going to ever take that away from her. It's just, I feel like I see a different Britney when I look at her now than when she was on stage. And I'm not talking about the on-stage Britney the past few years when she was drugged up by her dad, but I'm talking about the pre-shave your head Britney when she was really like on point.
I know. I still go in the shower and listen to her music and dance.
I hope you're not spinning in the shower
No.
naked, because you're gonna fall naked and somebody's gonna have to come rescue you, and you're not gonna have any rose petals covering your titties. So that
I'll have soap buds.
oh my God. All right. Well, enough about that. We're gonna leave everybody with that mental image. Okay. But I will say, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram at This Is the Ace. Make sure you tell your friends. The more love that we get, the better it would be. In fact, share this video with your friends. Tell them to check it out. Leave a little response on the bottom if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, because listen, we've got some really good topics that are going to be coming up, but we're always open to taking topics too. So if you have any good topics that you want to share with us that you'd like for us to cover, and maybe you don't want to put it out in public, you can always DM us at This Is the Ace. We will be sure to even leave it anonymous, or we could shout you out. Either way, because we like to show love to our followers.
Of course. And of course, in the upcoming weeks, we're going to have guest appearances, again, sponsors. So if any of you guys want to sponsor, your business, DM us at This Is the Ace. We'll definitely get back to you ASAP.
Absolutely.
And again, thank you for everybody that's been following us, showing us love. We've gotten lots of love since last week. So we appreciate that truly, because without you guys, we can't, you're part of us. So
yeah, you're part of the ride now, because now that we're starting the ride, you're on this crazy ride that we're about to take you on. And with that said, until next time,
never settle
and know your worth.
Yes. See you guys. Ciao.